All right, now you guys seen where all that water was coming in through here. I got some Sikaflex and I flattened the nozzle down and I got it really deep in there, and I kept looking for light to come through, and I filled it all the way in, gave it time to dry. We re-water tested it and it came out awesome. Now we had water penetration actually coming in from a few different areas. We have a lot of moisture going on, I think all 4 corners. All right, we had our max air fan leaking like crazy, so we're gonna get up here, strip everything off of it, pull it out, clean the whole area up, and reinstall it so we can have a good seal.
All right, pesky leaking fan. Now this is a new build. We shouldn't have any leaks going on, but the person we acquired it from used a different material than I am definitely used to. In this situation, I would use a self-leveling seal that will for sure fill in all cracks and voids. So the first thing we're going to have to do is remove this and reseal it. We'll put butyl down, and then which will be our first seal, and then our secondary seal is going to be a self-leveling. Let's see how hard this stuff's going to be to get off of here. Now it looks like underneath here they did not use butyl, and that's why we are leaking. Because even if your secondary seal, like this stuff, fails and lets water in, if you have your first layer of seal butyl underneath there, squished in and secured really good in there, even if this fails, you still won't get water in. But as you can see there is nothing under there to stop the water intrusion once it got past this black layer of stuff. And that is where the failure occurred. That, and it's not screwed down tightly. Now you can see when they spread it on there, you see all these little spots in here? Those are air bubbles. And you can see them all out here. Now, if it's a self-leveling, it will level itself out, and all the air bubbles will rise to the top. Now don't get me wrong, you can have an air bubble in self-leveling that'll ruin your day. But with this type of material, you're a lot more likely to have a void inside of it somewhere that you just can't see because, you know, it's a bubble inside. It's only peeking out somewhere, one little spot. We have rusty screws on both sides. When I'm installing a fantastic fan, I'm more likely to use a size 10 screw. These look like, these aren't even 8s, these are like 6s. I would at least use an 8, you know, but really 10s. 10s really give that draw in, especially when you have the butyl under there for your first layer of seal. It really draws it in there real tight so you have no leaking issues. Probably something wrong. Like Sikaflex, look at it all under there. That is not how your first layer of seal should be, guys. Randomness squirted here and there. What's funny is the person that installed this was building night vans or so before this. I really hate to see how that's going for them. That's the problem with taking over somebody else's build. Surprises. Oh, yeah, slowly. Hey! Alright. Epic failure. Okay, so you can see they just kind of randomly squirted something in here. You know, it didn't even hit on the screw holes. It's kind of here and there. If you look on here, you can really see some of it. It looks like they may be squirted in before they laid this down from the inside, maybe. We're gonna have to clean all of this up. All of this has got to go so we can properly butyl it. And all of this has to go. Yes. So we can properly install I know what you're thinking. Well, this stuff's on the outside of where the fan was. You know, when I go to screw it down, I might not have it exactly the same as where they had theirs. So you definitely need to clean up even the stuff that was outside of the fan, because if I adjust it one way and this stuff's all in our way, it may not give us that good seal we're looking for. Can anybody here tell me why I just did that? Nope, I think we can definitely do better than that. Grooves here are important. When we go to lay our butyl on here later, it really gives the butyl someplace to seep in and really make it watertight when you screw them screws down real nice and tight. If you can't screw it down tight, the butyl won't squeeze where all it needs to, and it's not going to protect you as well as it should. When we screw this back down, like I said, we're going to use more of a number 10. We could try 8s since they were already just 6s, but you know, we're just really going to have to see how this goes. Alright, this is butyl tape. Comes in different thicknesses, different widths. Like, this is your first layer of seal. Like, this is your first defense against water. Nothing you're going to squirt on here is going to work that well. Now, you don't want to peel the backer off of all of it, because if you do that, then the tape will stretch out the butyl part. It'll be thin, it won't cover where it needs to. Or the width, it'll make it skinnier. You know, this is all stuff we're trying to avoid. Let's keep the butyl on the tape so it keeps its thickness and its width. And to be honest with you, it makes it easier to manage whatever it is you're sealing until it's time to actually install it. Otherwise, this butyl would be sticking to everything, everywhere. I'm not going to leave my butyl laying out here in the sun, because it will melt. It will be a mess. It'll lose its shape. It'll all kinds of stuff. So always remember to put your butyl away when you're done, somewhere cool, dry. Now, if you remember, I marked on these so I knew where they would be located. And we can kind of look at the screw holes and see where they line up. So this did sit right here. That means they must have butt the other one in here, and I just have it kind of free floating in here where all of this is flimsy. So why don't we make our frame run from something solid to something solid all the way around? I think that's a much better idea. All right, let's cut some wood. All right, we've got 20 inches. Now, that'll be on the lower spot. The spot that we have stuck up towards the top of the roof, we actually need that to come inward a 1/4 inch to be able to fit up in there properly. So, let's mark out a 1/4. Alright, now we've got our next one that we cut out with less angle. you know, 5 degrees was really where it's at. That fits so much better up in there.